All right. So, welcome. My name's Allie, and I've got a team of volunteers that are helping facilitate the session today. I did prepare a few slides so that we can kind of like go through maybe some questions that you're already having, and I wanted there to be a little bit of structure, but please feel free to ask all of your questions. You can even continue to email me later as you have more questions. Um, because of the number of folks that we have here, which it's really great. I'm so excited we've got so much interest, but I would say to chat your question and one of our volunteers will be monitoring the chat. If you do want to use your voice, that's awesome as well. And I'd suggest that you use the little hand raise reaction so that we're not speaking over each other during the session. So let me share my screen and we will start chatting about the Alexandria Animal Academy. Okay, give me 2 seconds to get situated. Lovely. So you already know why you're here. We're discussing all things Alexandria Animal Academy. This is a new program that we're offering, and I personally am really excited about this because it's a hybrid between group classes and individual training. So you'll be building a lot of skills and hopefully building some community too if you do choose to sign up in one or more of the tracks. Quick introductions. Hello, my name is Allie. I'm a certified professional dog trainer, and I'm also on staff full-time at the Animal Welfare League of Alexandria. I'm the behavior and training coordinator. I spend most of my time working with dogs and cats with behavioral issues that can impede their ability to thrive in an adoptive home. So the way that we organize this course is based on some of the most common behavior issues that we're seeing, not only with the animals in our care, but also with the animals of folks in the community who are reaching out to us with behavior issues. I do have some multi-species experience. I work with cats quite a bit in addition to dogs, and I've actually worked with goats and donkeys and a handful of other mammals as well. And I'm a fellow dog parent. So I've had my current dog Gus is mostly perfect, but I've had the problem dog, the dog that makes you feel a little bit nervous to walk before. I've been there and done that, and I would love to be able to help folks feel a little bit more confident and a little bit less alone. So if you'd like, feel free to use the chat function to introduce yourself. We'd love to know your animal's name as well. Oh, and this is my dog, Gus. He's very handsome. With me, I also have some help. So I roll deep. I've got 4 volunteers that are helping me out with this course this year. Miranda Smith wasn't able to join the Zoom today, but she's a fellow professional dog trainer who volunteers her time at the AWLA. And she'll probably be helping me out with some of our feedback that we'll be giving you throughout the course, just to have a second set of eyes on things. And I also have Julianne, Kathy, and Joyce who are going to be helping out quite a bit with administrative Zoom like admin kind of stuff throughout the course. And these 4 women are just really, really dedicated, wonderful volunteers. They work right alongside me with our most stressed animals here at the shelter. And a few of you on this call are also heavily involved in that work as well. So just lots of kindness on the Zoom today. A little bit about our mission at the AWLA. If you're maybe joining your first Animal Welfare League of Alexandria Zoom event, or maybe you haven't really interacted with us too much in the community before, maybe you're even not local, which would be really cool. We at the AWLA seek to inspire compassion for all living things, both in our shelter and in our community. And through that, we promote adoptions, animal welfare, and responsible pet ownership in our community. So tying that to the course that we've built, I'm hoping that you'll walk away with skills to clearly communicate with your dog, better understand and honor what they might be asking for in certain moments, and how you can provide that and make them feel comfortable and feel trusted. Some safe and humane ways to manage and modify dog behavior And we'll talk about that from a sort of generic standpoint, but then also get into some really deep individual specific issues that you might be having with your own family pet. The other piece that I'm hoping we'll be able to have around this course is building some community around common behavior problems. So, speaking from experience, I had a very leash reactive dog and borderline unsafe dog to walk on leash in my neighborhood. And it felt very isolating. And at times I felt very ashamed of having this animal and walking her and having to kind of advocate for her in that space. It can be really easy to not realize that a lot of other people are experiencing a similar issue as you. So I'm hoping through these tracks that we're offering through the Alexandria Animal Academy, you'll be able to not only really learn some good skills and feel more confident in your own ability to advocate for your animal and work alongside them, but also make some friends, maybe even some friends in your neighborhood that you could talk through when you're just having that rough day. You know, maybe you made a lot of great progress, but you had one setback and it can feel super isolating, but now you can text Jill or whoever you're working with in your class. So as I mentioned, we have designed the course so that it's built into 3 tracks: confidence building, leash reactivity, and chill out. And these are 3 dogs who have been successfully adopted that did have some behavior issues during their time with us at the AWLA. This is probably my favorite photo of any of our dogs. And for each of those tracks, if you'd like, you can take one or you can sign up for multiple. You can even sign up for all 3 if you like. We've got 8 weeks of planned content, and the setup, the layout of the course is maybe a little bit different than what you might have experienced before. Every week during that 8-week cohort, we'll start on a Sunday with a live Zoom with your entire track. So like the leash reactivity track will have their own Zoom, chill out will have their own Zoom, and confidence building will have their own Zoom. We'll have a Zoom session for each of those tracks on Sundays that's recorded so that if you're not able to make it, you can watch it later. And then following that Zoom session, I'm going to be sending you a recorded lecture for the week's topic with a little bit of homework. So you can review the lecture topic at your own, at your leisure, and do the homework or don't do the homework, whatever you want to do. I do encourage you to do the homework. And then, we'll get some feedback for you on the homework. Then we meet the next Sunday to discuss everything that we learned previous week and then move to the next week's content. So within that 8-week course, the first 4 weeks are really heavily loaded on skill building for you. So we're going to do some in-depth work on reading and responding to body language that our dogs might be offering, and then learning a lot about our individual animal in front of us, including things like preference testing their favorite foods so that we can really make sure that we are reinforcing them appropriately. And then we'll learn some training skills. Weeks 5 through 8, that second half of the session, is tailored directly to you. So I'm going to allow you to choose a problem behavior that you would like to work through, and we'll build a plan together to not only manage that problem behavior and keep everybody safe and healthy and happy, but also figure out a way to ethically desensitize your dog. So for example, let's say you've got a fearful pup and you're working on getting that dog to the groomer. We'll work on a plan for how to manage your dog's fearful behavior, and also in slow approximations, get them to a point where they can go to the groomer and feel safe and confident. So that's going to be the second half of the course that we're working toward. And we'll continue to have those weekly check-ins so that we can kind of talk about our own independent study projects, learn from each other, tweak our plans as we get new information from our animals, and keep moving forward. So the training approach, not only for this course, but just sort of how I approach animal training. First of all, the instruction is scaffolded. And by that, I mean that we have it organized so that you're learning skills in sequential order so that you're set up for that next skill. By the time we get to week 5 and we're working on an individual problem behavior with your individual animal, you're already gonna have a background of skills from weeks 1 through 4 to deploy. So each week builds on the next. And we do it that way so that we're hopefully eliminating some frustration on your end. You're not going to be asked to do something before you're ready to do it. I use only positive reinforcement, both for animals, and I do my best to do that with people as well. That means that we are focusing on the behaviors we want rather than correcting the behaviors we don't want. So we're setting up the situations with our animals so that they can be successful and continuing to reinforce and reward those behaviors when they are successful. Individual specific. So a lot of the things that you'll learn in the course and that we'll focus on are species specific. We'll talk generally about dog behavior and body language, and these are things that broadly apply across individuals. But your own animal is going to have some specific quirks. So we'll use that broad general knowledge and apply it to your animal. I might be the expert in the room on dog behavior, but you are the expert on your individual dog. So it's going to be a lot of building together. And then it's a functional approach. So what I mean by that is we're taking a look at the problem behaviors that we're trying to work through and thinking about why that dog might be offering that behavior. What function does the behavior serve, and how can we help that dog meet that need or meet that function in a more appropriate way, a way that humans can live with as well. Things to expect from me. I will do my best to get back to you over email within 24 hours. I am best over email. I am hardly ever sitting at my desk for very long, so I'm almost never at my phone when it rings. Email is better for me. You'll get individualized coaching really as much as you want, as much feedback as you want from me, I will give you. Constructive and kind feedback as well. And Miranda and I work carefully on that. So we want you to feel safe to try new things and grow. And that can be really, really difficult when you're not used to getting critical feedback. So we keep it kind, we keep it constructive. And you'll get all of this from me for the duration of the 8-week course, depending on the animal that you're working with and the behavior.
Allie, you just got muted.
Oh no, I don't know why, but that's weird. Anyway, constructive and kind feedback. I'm not sure when I went muted, but we'll go there. So you can expect me to be kind, you can expect me to be constructive, and you'll get feedback and individualized coaching for the duration of the 8-week course. Depending on the behavior that your animal is dealing with, we might, kind of figure out an agreement to continue working together for a little bit past that 8-week. On the other side of things, what I would love from folks who take me up on this course is to come in with an open mind and a growth mindset. So sometimes we can get into a place with our animals in particular where we're putting labels on them. Something like, oh, well, my dog doesn't walk on a leash. My dog's not food motivated, those kinds of things. And there might be some element of truth to that, but I'd really encourage you to think about it from a more of a behavior standpoint where we're saying something like, right now, my dog is uncomfortable on a leash. And that sort of opens us up to be able to think about where we can grow, right? Right now, under these circumstances, under these conditions, my dog is not taking food from my hand. And that gives us a lot more room to grow and explore. So I'm hoping for a growth mindset, taking that deep breath when you need to and a step back and thinking about where we might be cutting off a conversation where we could be open instead. Staying committed to the process. Feedback goes both ways. So I hope that you'll offer me constructive and kind feedback throughout the course as well. And clear communication. You'll get the best results for your animal when you're telling me what's going on. So communicating throughout the course will be really helpful. And I really highly encourage you to take me up on the offer for feedback. It's even if you do know your animal super well, sometimes just having that third party watch a video of you and your animal interacting, they may be able to notice something that you couldn't see from your vantage point in that moment. Cost for the class. This is all information that's on the website as well, so I don't think it'll be too much of a shock, but $200 for one track, 8-week course. If you're looking at 2 tracks, that's discounted to $300, $350 if you take all 3 tracks. And I would just stress that some of the content across the tracks does overlap. So take that in mind. And if you're thinking about combining tracks, maybe just shoot me an email and we can talk through it to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck. If you are interested in gaining access to the course materials, but you don't want a individualized training plan and you don't want feedback from me, we can give you all of the course materials for $100. And also, we are offering some needs-based scholarships on a case-by-case basis. You do need to be a resident of Alexandria City. So double check your zip code if you're thinking about that. There are some zip codes in Alexandria that are actually Fairfax County, but send us an email at behavior@alexandriaanimals.org if you're thinking about this course, but the costs are prohibitive. Okay, and I've seen the chat bubble lighting up, so I'm here for questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
All right, so we do have some questions.
Yes, ma'am.
So the first one is, in the future, will you be conducting any seminars on how to select a new dog for traits, behaviors that they should be aware of? Because they just had a dog recently pass and are looking to adopt an older dog that's not a puppy, and how to do that process.
The short answer is no, I don't have plans to do that. But I know our adoption counselors here at the AWLA are always available to kind of talk through traits and observable behaviors that we're seeing with the animals in our care.
The next one says, they just want to clarify weeks 5 to 8 are if they are individual Zoom sessions focused on their issue or how that works.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit loosey-goosey. The Zoom sessions on Sundays will still be as a group, so you'll be coming together as a group to talk about your individual sessions. Maybe, you know, Kim and Laura and Sam are all in the chill out group and they're all working on slightly different behaviors related to relaxation. There's still a lot that can be gained in a group conversation with those things. And you might even be able to like tweak something in your own plan when we're talking about the other person's plan. That said, in order to build the individual plan, we will be doing a couple of one-on-one sessions. So once you get to week 5 and you go through, there's a module that will send you on desensitization and management, effective management. So you'll kind of watch that module, think about the behavior that you'd like to work on. Then we will, you know, set up a time to talk one-on-one so I can get more details on that behavior and I'll build a plan for you.
Perfect. Then the next one is there a list of behaviors mapped to each course to help owners select which one is most appropriate? So,
yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, sorry. Sorry,
And
I
then,
got too excited. Keep talking, Julian.
Then are there any prerequisites for the course? And for example, like if a dog effectively listens and responds to basic commands already?
Yeah, no prerequisites. We'll work through all of that stuff in the first few weeks of the course. In order to choose the correct track, I don't think I have anything written down about mapped behaviors, but for confidence building, just off the top of my head, confidence building is going to be more fearful behaviors. We'll see some hesitancy to, you know, maybe greet new people, greet new dogs, move in some stress maybe when you're moving into a different space, those sorts of like shutdown behaviors. Chill out is going to be your dog who's all over the place and maybe has a really hard time winding down. You might notice that they're not sleeping a lot during the day, or maybe they're doing some destructive things around the house, like ripping stuff up, those kinds of behaviors. And leash reactivity and chill out, I imagine there will be a little bit of overlap, but leash reactivity is going to be more of those lunging, growling, snapping at the end of the leash, maybe in relation to another dog that they see, but it could even be just a dog who loses their mind when a squirrel runs in front of their path. Like we can work with those behaviors as well too. And if you're still having questions, feel free to just email me directly and we can talk through what behaviors you're experiencing and map you to the right course.
Excellent. The next one is, can my mother take the course even if she lives somewhere else for her dog?
Yeah. Yeah, she won't be eligible for a scholarship, but she can definitely take the course.
Cool. The next one is, how long is the course material? Will it be available if you join the audit or just in general?
That's a good question. I don't think I've contemplated that, but everything that I'm going to send you will be PDFs and recorded sessions. So you'll have it, forever. You might want to download it onto your computer, but you'll have it forever.
Perfect. And then the next one asked if we could go for the 3 tracks again. You just did kind of, so I'm not sure if that, Jane, if that was sufficient or if you'd like more information, but I'm going to move to the next one while you reply, if that's okay. So how are the costs and registrations handled for owners with multiple dogs? So if I have 2 dogs, do I need to register twice?
Hmm, that's a really good question. We hadn't considered that. Let me make a note. Who is the person that asked that question?
Michael L.
Okay. I'm gonna just make a note to reach out to you, Michael, because I'm almost certain that other people will have a similar question.
Okay, there's more people that want to know about the multiple dogs. Actually, a lot of people want that. They're adding
Cool,
it.
cool, cool, cool. Okay. So we'll definitely, what we'll do is update the website with that information so that everybody can kind of get access to that.
All right. The next one is, our dog barks and pulls like crazy around any moving vehicle, especially trucks. But he is also upset at home and having a hard time meeting one of our other family members' dogs. What class would you recommend? Leash class or chill out?
Hmm. I think I think it depends on which behavior you're most concerned about treating. So if we want to focus on the leash reactivity piece first, we can focus on leash reactivity. If we want to focus on building some confidence and lowering stress and energy levels around other dogs, maybe we focus on chill out first. I think the skills that you learn in both will overlap enough to kind of help. So if you did leash reactivity, I think you'd probably learn a lot that you could then apply to the other situation and vice versa. I would just say, what's most impacting your daily life right now, and make a decision in that way.
And there is the option to join both if you want to.
Correct. Yes.
Someone asked if you could pull up the pricing again.
Yes, I can. Let me.
While she does that, I also put the link in the chat and it has the cost and other information like the tracks if you need to reference that again.
Oh, fabulous. I will, instead of pulling back my screen, I'll just allow folks to go to that link.
Okay.
Thank you, Kathy.
Perfect. And then it says, are the classes held at the same time or be sequential?
So the Zooms will be, I forget which one is at which time, but every Sunday there will be an 11 a.m. Zoom, a 12:30 Zoom, and I believe a 2 p.m. Zoom. And each track will be the same time each week. And then after that, you'll get an email with the recorded lecture for that week that you can just watch at any point that makes sense for you during your week.
All right, that is the last one that I see right here. I didn't hear back from Jane on if she wanted to go for the 3 tracks again. but we had done that since that question came in. So I think, unless we hear something, I think we're okay there.
Cool. Let me
But
scrolling
when do
through.
the classes start?
Great question. Classes kick off January 21st and registration opens December 1st.
And more coming in. What is the confidence building track going over?
So I'll actually pull up the language so that wait. Sorry, I'm not good at talking and typing. How many in each class? We're leaving up space for, where did this go? We're leaving space for 20 families per class. And that begs the question of what that'll look like with multi-dog families. So I have to think about that, but it'll probably stay 20 families per class. So confidence building, I'll just read the kind of blurb that we put together already, but this is going to be one for dogs who show signs of shyness, fearfulness, and stress, and they might act in aggressive ways such as growling, snapping, and barking when faced with new people, places, or things. It can also be a good course for dogs who aren't offering aggressive behaviors per se, but maybe are just kind of clearly showing signs of stress. Sometimes these are going to be things where the dog sort of like freezes or snaps seemingly out of nowhere. Confidence building is going to be focused on how to learn the really subtle body language and behaviors that your dog might be offering so that we can get them to a place where they feel safe way before they're starting to offer those more aggressive behaviors. And you'll be able to then build trust with your animal because they're going to start to trust that you know when they're not okay and that like mom's got this or dad's got this. So we'll start to build some training games around that once we kind of build that trust and then work through a desensitization plan that's focused on whichever behavior you want to work with most. So, you know, I use the example of getting your dog to the groomer, or maybe it's walking into the vet's office or stepping on the scale at the vet's office, whatever kind of specific thing you want to work toward.
And someone asked what email to email for more questions, and Kathy put it in the chat. It's behavior@alexandriaanimals.org, so you guys can see that. And then what would you recommend for a dog who's anxious but not aggressive, just barks a lot at home or in the vet or at the groomer's waiting rooms, but also has a hard time settling once he sees where we are about to go walk? Once he sees we are about to go on a walk.
Yeah, it sounds like you might maybe fall between confidence building and chill out. So similar to the question earlier about whether chill out or leash reactivity might be the right option, I think you do have the option of taking both, but if you want to focus more on your dog feeling anxious in different situations, then I would focus on confidence building. If you want to focus more on your dog settling, I would focus on chill out.
All right, then next one is, can you do a combination of full enrollment and auditing for a discounted price where you don't want full feedback on all the courses, but want to audit some and full enrollment in another?
That's a good question. Yeah, I think we could do that. This is kind of part of what's great. So it's the first time we're offering this course, and we tried to kind of plan for all the questions you might have, but you're coming up with really excellent questions. So that might be something, L, where we would maybe do yours, do your pricing like manually, but I can talk to our staff that handle the checkout process and the registration process and make sure that that is an option. So you could, maybe pay for the course for chill out and audit the other course that you'd like to. I'm going to make a note on that as well.
Right. Is chill out focused more on dogs who can't settle generally, or that might be very excited every time they see people, dogs, and other specific things?
Yes. Um, I think I think the course will go a long way towards both of those things. So a lot about chill out is lowering the dog's excitement levels sort of across the board. So, we're building in more routine to their day. We're making sure that all of their needs are met mentally and physically. And I think that'll help in specific areas with some of the training skills that we'll get on board. And I think that'll also help just sort of like as a general, generally one of the benefits would be, maybe your dog is settling and relaxing a little bit more throughout the day.
That's the last question I see at the moment, but you still have, oh, here comes one. Oh, nope, never mind. Will there be classes that cover basic commands?
We're not really doing commands for this one. You'll learn a couple of basic skills, but we really wanted this package of courses to be focused on functional behaviors that are going to improve your life with your pet and help you kind of live better together. So we're not focusing so much on like the sit down, stay type stuff.
All right, I don't see any other ones. Oh, every time I say that, something comes in. So sure, I missed it, but how do we register? Is it through that email address?
Keep an eye on the website. So the registration will open on December 1st, and I'm sure there will be a social media thing as more information in that becomes available, but you'll be able to register through the website. Thanks, Julian.
Yep. I'm not gonna say it this time. All right, this time for real. I don't see questions popping in.
Cool. Yeah, you're welcome. We're really excited about it, and I'm excited to meet you guys and meet all of your animals, and I hope you'll offer me a little bit of grace as we figure out some of the kinks in the process. It's a really new kind of way to do outreach and training.
Oh, one question said, are all the meetings on Zoom or do we ever get to meet in person?
Yeah, so all of the classes are built to be remote. There might be, I'm hoping that we'll have some goodie bags for you guys when you sign up for the course that you'd be like coming in, to pick up at the shelter potentially. So I'd love to meet you if you pop in for that, but we don't have any content planned that will be in person.
And one more, will you do any behavioral consults that will help determine which class Luna Bell needs?
Oh, Luna Bell. Send me an
Bell.
email. Send me an email and we can talk through the specific things that you're dealing with for Luna Bell. Oh my goodness. She's super cute.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if we don't have other questions right now, that email address doesn't disappear. So continue to send me questions as you have them. And I hope to see some of you guys sign up on December 1st.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for making time. Go enjoy your dinners.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Yep. Here.
Bye, Ellie. Good night.
Bye.